Gen X, are we adults yet? Hey, listen, guys, as we get older, when we avoid hard conversations, we're not keeping the peace, we're keeping the tension. We're keeping our tension. What happens when you have domestic violence, a bad uncle in the family, or a bully? Let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Greg.
We are Gen X. And welcome to our podcast. Welcome to your podcast. Welcome back to your favorite podcast. Shout out to our Monday crew for tuning in every Monday to catch the freshest episode that we have to offer. Thank you to our subscribers. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button down over in the corner. Let us know you're watching. If you guys are Gen X, you guys should have that button hit already. Let us know you're here. Like, love, follow, comment, do all the things. We are on all the platforms out there. We do offer exclusive content over on the Talk. So Gen X, find us over there. All the millennials, all the younger folks, thank you guys for tuning in. You definitely don't want to miss this episode. By the time you're our age, maybe you could avoid some of the shit we're about to talk about tonight.
Yeah, seriously.
So, maybe you could do it in the bud, right? Exclusive footage over on the Talks.
Exclusive footages.
There's a lot of Gen X folks over there. So thank you guys for watching the video. And just remember, first and foremost, we are a podcast. Links are in the description. And we have, just over 3 years. On the release date.
Hours and hours of entertainment.
of audio-only podcast material sitting on Podbean. Links are in the description. And we do have some merch. Link in the description. Support the show. You love the show? Thumb through and find a coffee mug. Go find a T-shirt that you like.
Get a cool shirt. Man.
You want to, have a suggestion for a T-shirt based on an episode? Leave us a comment down below. I'll make the T-shirt. I'll put it up for sale. You guys can buy the T-shirt. You want one that says mustard? I'll make one.
Mustard of puppets.
Mustard of is that already a shirt?
Oh, I don't know.
Greg, before we get into this, tell us something good, my friend.
Bro, I don't have something good. I have something bogus.
Tell me.
Val Kilmer died, bro.
Val Kilmer died.
Iceman
passed away.
Iceman is gone.
Yes. The real genius.
1985 classic.
Okay.
Anyways, that was the something bogus this week. But
I understand that some topics are hard to talk about, and it can feel like avoiding them will keep the calm. What we are essentially saying is, it's okay that you hurt me. Your secret's safe with me. Now I'm in on protecting the hurting one. Now I'm protecting the person for the sake of others' feelings. What about your feelings? Have you ever been bullied? Have you survived DV? Do you have a bad uncle in your family? Those are 3 very real things that happen. And as Gen Xers, we're going to go over some statistics, and it says based on our viewership and how many people are going to watch this video, some of these stats are going to apply to some of our viewers watching today, right? And the idea is, listen, guys, again, some of this stuff is hard to talk about. We're not going to talk about details of being bullied or domestic violence or, sexual assault, the bad uncle. If they haven't got that, that's what that is, right?
Unless you have a story, you can call in now.
call in, leave us a comment. But in all seriousness, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what it looks like to not talk about it. We're going to talk about what it looks like when we don't talk about it. And this whole episode was birthed from a meme that says, avoiding difficult conversations doesn't keep the calm, it keeps the tension. Whose tension does it keep? It keeps mine. If I'm the one that was been wrong, let's say I've been bullied in school and, that had, just whatever. And I don't want to say anything now. I don't want to disrupt his family. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to be embarrassed. It was kind of embarrassing. I had them, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to disrupt the calm. Okay, that's fine. We're going to spend the next few minutes talking about what happens to us when we do that.
Yeah, if I don't call up my school bully and confront him.
So that's the most direct way. We're going to close the show with a couple of ways that we can possibly deal with this.
Hey, man.
And,
you were a jerk.
Hey, you're a freaking dick, bro. Straight up.
I'm glad I never had anybody. If that's the thing to do, I'm glad I haven't had anybody call and say that to me. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone, for not having done that to me yet.
Here are some stats. Here's the ugly truth about like domestic violence and bullying and, child sexual abuse, right? Domestic violence, 1 in 4 women, 24%, and 1 in 7 men aged 18 and older have experienced severe physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. 1 in 4. Good Lord.
Your chick should not be able to beat you up.
1 in 7 men have experienced domestic violence aged 18 or older. Over 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have experienced rape, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime. 1 in 3. Good Lord. 1 in 4 men. Bullying. A 2023 CDC study involving over 20,000 high school students found that 40% of transgender and 39% of questioning students reported being bullied on school property, compared to 20% of cisgender girls and 14% of cisgender boys. In New York City public school systems, a 2024 survey revealed 51% of K-12 students experienced harassment and bullying, an increase of 48% from the previous year. So you have the two different demographics, right? And then the other one is the 51% of kindergarten through high school experienced harassment or bullying.
And now it happens online. Like, at least we only got bullied in school. You get to go home, maybe get some peace. Unless your dad was a dick too, but
right. Okay. So correct. So now we have the cyberbullying, which, came out a long time ago, but it's
makes it even worse.
And then just child sexual abuse, right? Approximately 1 in 9 girls and 1 in 53 boys under the age of 18 experience sexual abuse or assault at the hands of an adult. 82% of all victims are under 18. Under 18 are female.
Like that uncle you don't leave the kids with.
And when it comes
we don't leave the
to
kids
child sexual abuse, it's never a bandit that wears the mask. It's always somebody who's trusted. I use the term bad uncle because there's a lot of fucking dark humor, and in the movies and TV, it's whatever, and the jokes and the dark, ugly humor jokes that go around. It's the uncle's always the perpetrator. I don't know where that originated from, probably real life, but it's the bad uncle. And that could be anybody, and it's usually a person of trust, somebody who is trusted. Gary Pluchet, we talked about him on a couple episodes back. There's a cool cartoon meme out now. He was the guy, Gary Pluchet was the karate instructor who eventually kidnapped a kid and ran off to like San Diego with him and had him in a hotel and was raping him. He allowed the kid to make a phone call home to let him know he was safe or whatever, and they found him and busted him. And then he flew back, and then walking back through the airport, that kid's dad was the one at the payphone.
Waiting for him.
Rolled right out 2 feet away, just right there. It was point blank range, and dropped him.
Got him.
Blink.
Got him. Took one for the team.
That meme always floats around on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Right?
Father of the Year award.
So
that was a lot of stats, and that basically, I'm no expert because we're not experts at statistics even,
and 80% are made
sounds like it pretty much covers everybody.
82% of all victims under 18 are female. Good Lord, pray for the girls, everybody. Pray for it's off the charts. Our viewers know those stats. Some of us do, some of us don't. The ones that don't, thankful that you don't. Right? Those that you do, right? This isn't to preach that what you need to do with whatever experience you've had, right? And I picked these 3. It could be anybody who has been abusive or taken your voice or has, taken power or however it's worded for you, right? What we're going to focus on tonight is what happens when we don't. Because remember, this whole thing started with avoiding difficult conversations doesn't keep the peace. It keeps the tension, right? Some of that tension looks like, and I don't just mean, oh my God, my back is a little bit sore. We're talking, if you're in your 50s, and let's say the worst case scenario, not that some are better than the others, DV, good God bless you all. Some of this happens at 4 years old. Some of this happens when we start dating people, so to speak, or at some point, right? And others, the bullying can happen at any age. So the farther back it happens, and the longer we have to carry it, the heavier it gets. And at some point, we have coped and changed our life to kind of deal with this stuff, right? Any one of these could be explained by something else. But if you take a step back and zoom out a little bit, apply that history. Let's say I am a domestic violence survivor. Let's say I am a child sexual assault survivor. Let's say I have survived bullying, right? And let's say it's significant. Let's not pick it apart like whoever gets to say what it is, right? signs of not addressing, or it's called stuffing. If you guys have ever, stepped into that world,
Stuff it.
huge culture with that bravado and the machismo in the Latino communities and the Mexican cultures. It's, the men, the guys, we don't admit our pain. We're supposed to be tough. We're supposed to be able to take it. We're supposed to figure it out. We're supposed to be able to muscle through it. Doesn't matter. Go to work, handle our business, keep the light bill on.
Die in your 50s.
Die in your fucking 50s, right? Because you've been drinking since you were 20, right? Whatever. Yeah. Anyways, signs of not addressing and stuffing, some physical signs, right? Again, all these can be explained individually, but look, man, if you have that history, check this shit out. Tell me which ones you don't have, right? Physical signs. If this is your body keeping score, this is your body letting you know, hey, we're carrying some heavy shit. Chronic pain, back, neck joints that has no clear medical cause, digestive problems, acid reflux, IBS, ulcers, frequent headaches or migraines, high blood pressure or heart-related issues, unexplained fatigue or constant tiredness, weakened immune system, getting sick often, muscle stiffness or tension that doesn't go away.
I just saw some guy told me I have all that because I have mineral deficiencies.
Fair. And it's true. Okay. Right? Okay. But look, emotional signs, the inner struggles that feel normal.
It's because you've been clenching your butt cheeks since 1986.
And holding them tight.
Yeah.
And now
it's just not good for you, bro.
All your relationships are affected in one way or another, right?
You ever hug someone and they're just stiff?
Yeah, that means they're not a hugger, bro. You should have asked first. I'm like, oh, fuck, you don't hug, do you? I'm like, I just don't. I'm like, I am so, they just.
No, dude. Some people would try to give you
place.
a hug, but their hugs are really stiff. I think those are people that got the clenching of their butt cheeks for years,
and they're just uptight about stuff, right?
Yeah.
Emotional signs, the inner struggles that feel normal, shit that we've normalized. Feeling emotionally disconnected or numb. I don't even know what I feel anymore. Deep resentments toward people or past situations, but never addressing it. Irritability or short temper over small things. Sudden waves of sadness or anxiety that seem to come out of nowhere. Feeling stuck or like life didn't go how you wanted it, but not knowing how to change it. Avoiding emotional conversations or shutting down when things get too deep. It's starting to build a picture like there's this giant thing on your back halfway in your way, and it's like this, and it's growing on you, and you're trying to walk through life, and you're like, good Lord, my back hurts, high blood pressure, irritability, short temper. It could be a host of things. It could be a
giant burden.
Diet and exercise or lack of or poor this or that. It could be a host of things.
But if somebody asks you how you're doing, you make sure you say, I'm good.
Killing it.
I'm good.
I'm doing fine, right?
Just fine.
Okay, now add to those other lists. You don't have to have them all, but those of you who are listening. I appreciate that. Here's the other one, behavioral signs, how it shows up in your daily life. How carrying that burden and not saying shit shows up in your daily life. A lot of times we'll avoid conflict completely, even when something bothers you. Sometimes we'll be the peacekeeper at our own expense, always putting others first. Mm-hmm. Overworking or staying busy to avoid thinking about personal issues. It's not like, well, I'm going to work overtime just so I stay focused. It's more like, no, I just hear something right here and I'm like, no, I got to work on overtime. No, I got to work over here. I can't. And it's right here and it just gets bigger. And that's what it's talking about, working and staying busy to avoid this thing that's right here and freak your face. And it gets bigger, it doesn't go away, but our habits will change around it, and that's what we're talking about. Turning to distractions, TV, food, alcohol, shopping, instead of facing feelings. Doom scrolling. Good Lord, that's a new one. Guilty of fucking doom scrolling. Trouble sleeping, either too much or too little. Do you not sleep what some would consider enough? Oh, I get 6 hours. Max? Okay, fair. If that's you, that's you. Again, any one of these. But do you have a whole bunch of these?
Yeah, you should have been keeping score.
How many of these do you have?
How many do you have?
Count them as flags. Don't give them a color. If you have just a few, they're green, they're fine. If you have a little more, then there might be yellow. If you got a bunch, these might be red. And again, just because you could say, well, you know what? Ha a cancer fucker. So no, the idea isn't to diagnose you. The idea isn't to tell you what all these are. You have them. This means this. Go do this. It's not. It's more like, hey, guys, look, you know who I'm talking to at this point, and I appreciate you guys listening. When you don't say anything, This is what physically, emotionally, and behaviorally happens to us. Turning to distractions, trouble sleeping, feeling emotionally exhausted by relationships, but not knowing why. Again, there's this big something that's just right here. And as we get older, as we get into our 50s and 60s and whatever, we've developed our whole life around this shit. And all I'm saying is 1 in 4 or something like this? 1 in 13 for the other?
A lot. It means a lot.
39%. Thought patterns. Here we go. Here's some, I think the last of the flags you can count up. Are you counting? Thought patterns. What you might tell yourself. Again, this is just, we're not experts, but listen, it's too late to deal with that now. It's too late to deal with that now. I've handled things on my own for this long. I don't need to talk about it. Yeah. Talking about your bullying or your DV or your bad uncle, right? So those 3 examples, or anybody, right? It's too late to deal with that now. Oh, well, it's too late. I've handled this on my own for this long. I don't need to talk about it now. I don't want to burden others with my problems. If I bring this up now, what's the point? Fucking valid. What's the point? Well, we just kind of listed some shit in a very bulleted, very emotionally less void way, right? If I bring this up now, what's the point? I should just be grateful for what I have and move on.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's been this long. I don't seem to be bothered by it. It should be fine.
Yeah. It's been a long time. It's not a big deal.
But you have a shit ton of things that was above you, and you have this in your history, and you've learned to live with it. Okay. Call it what it is. Long-term consequences of suppressing this stuff. If emotions aren't processed, they don't disappear. They come out in other ways like burnout or emotional exhaustion. I just can't show up for you like that anymore. I hold on to the tools that get me through. Sometimes yelling and just screaming because I need to be heard the first fucking time or second time.
Like actual physical sickness too, man. This will make you sick. Crash your immune system. Get physical burnout. Mental burnout.
Keeps your body deprived. It keeps you low. It keeps your mood down. You eat poor. You do all these things. All of that equates to poor immune.
Right? Yeah, bad self-esteem, so you don't take care of yourself.
All of these things. And you just degrade. Period. All because of this. And it's not just something in front of you. It's just heavy, kind of like just this thing that just goes on you, and you're just like heavy, and you can't only see out of one eye and shit, right?
Yeah.
Burnout or emotional exhaustion, feeling stuck in old patterns, repeating toxic relationships, self-sabotaging, etc. Doing the same shit over and over again. Addiction.
I know that guy.
Difficulty trusting or connecting with others deeply. Guarded much? No, I got this. I got myself. I get it. I get it. Health issues linked to stress. Heart disease, autoimmune disorders. Now, does this mean it's so much on my mind my whole life that I'm thinking about it's causing all this stuff? No, it's not. That's not what that means. It's not in your active day-to-day conscious stuff. But what it means is that over time, since you were a kid, you have built, or whenever this happened, you've built this house around whatever that was. And it's in the way in a lot of ways. And it's in the way in your thought patterns, in your behaviors, in the way you form relationships, in the way you trust, in the way you don't trust, blah, 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 blah. That's how it shows up for us when we don't address it. Address this or anything how we're feeling.
What is it called? Is there like a clinical name for that? What they call that?
Stuffing.
I
should show the
burden. Is there a clinical name for that burden, the unprocessed pain that we carry around?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there one word for that?
Yeah, like a diagnosis. Oh, you have this. Is there a word for it? I wonder. If you know, let me know. I try and check out the comments.
Oh, long-term consequences of suppression, burnout, emotional loss, feeling stuck, difficulty trusting or connecting to others deeply, health issues linked to stress like heart disease, autoimmune disorders, etc. All right.
So what do I do? Ow, how do I fix it? What if I have it and I don't want it anymore? What do I do? I can't remember. Did I have a bully? I don't know if I kind of got bullied a little bit. was a dirty kid in 4th grade. Used to get made fun of because we didn't have a shower or nothing. So I had to show up to school dirty and get bullied a little bit.
Right.
Some girl used to bully me about being dirty. She sat next to me in class. 4th graders. Some 9-year-old kid. Oof. Being a jerk. That was mean. I didn't have a choice. I wasn't in charge of where we lived.
Right.
I didn't pay the bills. Oh. What the fuck do you want me to do about it?
I got beat up by a girl one time.
Yeah?
I did.
Dana Lacey?
I know who's Dana Lacey.
She was like,
is that a real chick?
Yeah, she was
no.
High school. She's like the girl that seems like you didn't want to fight her.
No.
She seemed like she could beat up a boy.
No idea what her name was.
Yeah?
No, I can't remember. She slapped me. I slapped her back.
Yeah?
And she beat me up. Yeah. She was like a 7th grader. I was like a 4th grader. It's at the park. Yelling at me for something. I must have been running my mouth or doing something fucking stupid. Nobody's ever just started with me.
Yeah. No reason at all.
I don't know, but I remember her bop, and I'm like, bah! And she onto the ground, and she had grabbed me and headlock and punching me and shit. Yeah, she fucked me up, dude.
And someone had to pull her off you?
I just kind of curled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fetal.
I did.
Yeah, it makes it no fun.
Beat up, dude.
You're no fun to beat up if you go into the fetal position.
All right. So are you telling me to just pick up the phone?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Or are we just going to, okay, well then, if that's the problem, I'm just going to pick up the phone. Well, no, hold on. Just quick, remember,
let them have it. Call up and let them have it.
There's lots of things you can do, right? There's lots of things you can do. Let's say you decide to do something.
So what if I grew up and got buff?
And just go beat him up?
Yeah, just go wait outside his work.
I'm not sure that will stand up in court. Assuming that you get caught and you go to jail for it, and you don't want to go to jail for it.
Assume like I'm always going to get caught for everything. I could. I still could do it.
Your karma will catch you.
Yeah.
If the laws of man won't, the laws of karma will.
It's definitely not what Jesus would do.
Is this where you're going to be when Jesus comes back? Watching that movie the other day. A little shout out to Joe Dirt. No, I'm not telling you just to pick up the phone. What I'm saying is if, you wanted to do something, there's a lot of options you can do, right? Confronting your abuser is a deeply personal decision, and it's important to approach it in a way that prioritizes your safety, your emotional well-being, and your long-term healing. Here are some steps and considerations to think before moving forward, right? Clarify your intentions. What are you hoping to do? Are you hoping to be able to go, hey, Johnny, you're a dick in 3rd grade, and man, you really have it coming to you. And he's going to go, oh, you know what, Tommy, man, I'm really sorry, buddy. And you know what? Hey, gee golly, man, I always kind of liked you. And, I just, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And it's like these 1950s cartoons
what do you need an apology?
60s cartoons or whatever, right?
To make yourself feel better?
What is it? Right? Why do you want to confront them? Is it for closure? Is it for accountability? Is it for understanding? Is it for something else? Is it for closure? Do you need to deliver something and not a left-right 2-piece combo? Right? Do you need to deliver, you hurt me, you're a fucking dick, and blah, 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 I'm out? Do you need to deliver something? Do you need to hear some accountability? Maybe even an apology. You should understand what it is you're trying to get at. Are you trying to understand why would you do that to me? Help me understand in whatever kind of form or fashion.
Yeah, what are you supposed to try to accomplish? Any of those things or whatever?
Or are you trying to accomplish something else? Okay, first of all, what is your goal?
Yeah, what is the goal?
Has to do probably a lot with, what kind of abuse you endured, right? Is that person still living? Is that person still close to you? Can that person still harm you? And that's what it talks about in your safety, physical safety, and your emotional well-being are you at risk of harm directly or indirectly? Are you at risk at harm? What do you want from them? closure, accountability, understanding, or something else. What outcome do you hope for? Keep in mind that you cannot control their reaction, only your approach and expectations. What if you had this big old speech? We've all seen the movies and the TV shows. Here's a perfect example. Kid gets put up for adoption in a movie.
After school special.
This kid gets put up for adoption. And the kid turns 18, and then the laws are, when you turn 18, we'll tell you who your real parents are, and you can seek them out. Then you could go, hey, why did you give me up for adoption? And the mom's like, well, I was young, or I was, somebody, had abused me, or, I couldn't give you a good life, and the Smiths gave you a better life, so, or whatever the sob story is, right? And then the mom's supposed to go, oh, I couldn't do this for him, but you have such a good life. I'm so sorry. What? Or the opposite. Who are you? What do you want from me? You got nothing coming for me. You have your parents. I gave you away for a reason.
Right.
Door shut.
Slam.
Slam. Dun, 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 dun. What kind of outcome are you hoping for? You can't control it. Right? So here we go. Number 2, consider your safety, physical safety. Is there any risk of harm, directly or indirectly? Consider a neutral or public location or a written format instead. Emotional safety, be prepared. Listen, guys.
You could write a letter?
You could write a letter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's an appropriate response?
You could text them. Just don't threaten them. But you could text them.
Yeah, you don't put anything like that in writing.
You don't threaten them. You can put what they did in writing. You did this to me. F you. Emotional safety. Be prepared for possible denial. I don't remember a damn thing. That wasn't me. You were drunk then. Or that wasn't me, or you deserved it. Whatever your case is. Defensiveness. Well, you made me do it. Well, you're partly to blame too. Well, I wouldn't have done it if you wouldn't have made me so mad. Or a lack of remorse. Okay, so what? Then what do you want from me? You want I'm sorry? Fine, I'm sorry. What else? Emotional safety. Be prepared for all those things. It could be triggering.
It's not your responsibility. How they
you have no control how they react, but be prepared for an ugly, non-Hollywood, Hallmark fucking movie reaction.
Yeah, it's probably not going to turn out the way you think it's going to turn out.
It could. It could not.
Yeah.
Be prepared. Probably not.
Probably not.
So think about it from the other person's point of view. You just caught him off guard. And I'm not saying I'm not sticking up for him, but if I catch you off guard, might just be defensive and lie too or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So there's, just choose the best method for you. In person, if this feels safe, consider bringing a trusted support person, a therapist, a friend, a family member, somebody who can fight.
We're not supposed to handle everything ourselves.
Bring somebody with you. Or choosing a controlled environment where you feel empowered. Meet somewhere public, where physical fights won't happen or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe, where they're less likely to be loud and abusive again. Or maybe where you're, somewhere where maybe you could be heard. And I mean actively heard. And a place where, you can't get loud. So you at least get your sentences out. At least you get to the full exchange, right? A letter or a message. Writing a letter allows you to say everything you need without immediate emotional pressure from their reaction. You don't even need to send it if you decide later that it's not necessary. Writing a letter allows you to craft how you want to say it, exactly how, without being interrupted, without breaking thought, without being distracted, without a conversation. And you have the ability to get it all, and you have the time to be able to craft it exactly how you want to say it.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do.
You can't control if they read it or not. You can't control if they go, whoa, this is your fault, and then do the denial or the blame or the no remorse or no acknowledgement. Yeah.
So I bet even just writing it probably is very helpful. It's just like journaling, right? It's sort of like
so. If you call it journaling, it's journaling. If you call it yes, it's you're
getting it out
1% at a time, man.
Even if no one's listening to it, you can just write it out.
You can burn it,
and burn it.
Burn it.
But
you can mail it. You just mail it to some random address and start a fight in that house.
You did what?
Just kidding.
Don't do that. Don't just. We're not experts, but don't do that. Don't just mail it to random people.
Start a big old fight, that motherfucker.
Don't look up a name in the phone book and just mail those out at random. Good Lord.
Oh. Ending lives, man. Therapist guided confrontation. Some survivors choose to process first in therapy and may have mediated conversations in a professional setting. If you have the ability, or if if that's, I advocate for the therapy, for the counseling, simply because that's where you go to learn new behaviors once we're done learning from our parents. Period. There's no other place to go to learn how to behave differently. Behave differently means to stop smoking or drinking, to stop being angry, to stop being in abusive relationships, to stop, hurtful patterns of behavior and just start thinking blah, 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 blah. That's where you go to stop that shit. It just point blank. Today, thank God for technology. There are online and digital forms of support too. It doesn't have to be laying on that little tiny black couch talking about your feelings anymore. Right?
Yeah, there's a video call with some stranger.
It's all good. So, therapist guided confrontation. Check in with somebody. Share all this. How could I say this? What could I say? They could give you specific feedback on how to do it, right? So you just maybe don't want to go off and just go off screaming and yelling again and just not accomplish what you want to accomplish, right? Having a prepared response or a plan for scenarios can help keep you in control of the situation. Number 5, build a support system. This is really important. I legit. A therapist or a counselor, again, having professional support before and after can help process emotions. Trusted friends or family, let someone know what you're planning so you're not alone in handling the emotional weight. Be open, share. So when you want to talk about it, 1, they're already up to speed on the details. And 2, it's talking about it lets out the pressure. The pressure inside does all the things we talked about, right? Okay.
It does sound like an after-school special, though.
It does. It goes as far as to suggest, survivor support groups, talking to others who have faced similar situations, especially in the DV cases, the sexual assault cases, bullying cases too. I don't want to make light of that or rank any of these, but there are support groups, and there's a ton online now, and there's a ton of other media, videos, and social medias available, of groups. There's a Facebook group for freaking everything.
And probably a church group in your neighborhood too for pretty much everything. So
pretty much everything.
Grief support
right.
To any kind of survivor support.
All right, guys. Here's a big one. Accept that closure may look different than expected. You may not get the Mary Poppins Disney song and dance apology and I'm sorry ending. And pulling out this thing. I've been saving letters for you and I just loved you and here's pictures and stuff. You may not get that closure, right? Closure doesn't always come from the abuser acknowledging the harm they caused. Sometimes the act of standing up for yourself is the closure itself. Sometimes the act of just standing up to your person is the closure yourself.
It's true. I could see that.
You don't need their validation.
Take your power back.
To know what happened to you was real and wrong. Listen to that. If you don't get the apology and the closure you hoped or saw on TV, you don't need their validation to know what happened to you was real and it's wrong.
You just want to show up and say something mean enough that you can make them cry.
You want to punch those motherfuckers. Years I've carried this. I just want to fucking good Lord. I could just smash. You know what I mean? Just whatever the case is. You know what I mean? And there's hats off to the folks who don't. And just, again, we're talking about stuffing. We're talking about what happens when we don't. And now we're in this list of, hey, if you decide to do it, consider these steps before, right? Again, we're not telling you what to do, but you know what? If you're going to decide to do it, have a self-care plan.
Here's a little bit of how.
Yeah. Confronting past trauma can be emotionally exhausting, so plan ways to take care of yourself afterward. Therapy, journaling, safe space, supportive friends, mindfulness, etc.
Watch some cartoons, maybe. That would be very helpful.
It is.
Getting back to center.
Anything that is intentional for you, whether any kind of, it doesn't have to be entertainment, but it's a gift. It's a blessing. It's something out of the ordinary that you are treating yourself intentionally for. I'm doing this for me.
For me. 1 hour of Bugs Bunny.
Done. I want the band of Bugs Bunnies first.
You can't watch an hour of Bugs Bunny and not be in a better mood.
You are reclaiming your power no matter their response. The most important thing is that you are choosing to speak your truth on your terms. Don't have to protect others' feelings. Your feelings are what's important. You have been wronged. You've been hurt. And now you brought yourself to a place that you want to say something. And like the meme says, well, we just want to keep the peace. You know, why say it now? What's the big deal? I've dealt with it this long. I blah, 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 blah. I get that. And that's your choice, right? Some of you are going to choose to like, oh, hey, fuck, you know what? Fuck that guy or fuck that girl.
What if I can't? What if they did die or something, or there's just like, for some reason I can't do it? Is there like an alternative plan if you can't just call up your bully and let him know?
So the therapist part, the counseling part, the trusted professional part can really help jump in on that. And again, there's other resources. There's phone numbers you can call. There's social groups.
It's really just
on
the unprocessed
Facebook.
part that makes it such a heavy burden. So
It's
there's
the unprocessed
alternative ways
part.
to process besides a confrontation.
How to talk about it. Now, sometimes it's important to know who you're talking about it to because of their feedback. And that's what I'm getting at with a professional. They're going to be able to give you feedback and guidance in a way that's probably healthy and promotes what you want out of the whole thing versus picking up, your best friend Susie's feelings on things. Well, fuck him. I told you from the get, didn't like that motherfucker. Fuck him. I told you from the blah, blah, blah. So now we're jaded like Susie, which is fine. We don't have to like him, but did we process any of it? You know what I mean? So that we run the risk of kind of doing that because we want to change something. We want something different. We're open to it. And if we get it from our bestie Susie, okay, fine. But we also have the opportunity to get it from somebody who's, kind of educated, who does this for a living or whatever, and is more qualified to listen to some things.
Qualified.
So I told my folks this, I've told my people this, and I do work in mental health and I do work with drug and alcohol, and I've shared this across the board. And when it comes to my drug and alcohol help, when I talk about the addiction and stuff, I want to talk to other addicts. Period. Point blank. I want to talk to other people who spent just as much time hanging out in garages as I have. Right. When it comes to my drug and alcohol help and stuff, I want to be around drug and alcohol people. Okay. Here's the other thing. When I need mental health stuff, when I want to work on my anger, when I want to work on, some coping skills, when I work on, things, why I react the way I do, right? I don't necessarily want to go to someone who's hung out in garages next to me. I want to go to someone who probably knows this stuff in such a nerd way on the like the back of their hand, and just like really finds this just I can really do this, and who has all of the things in mind, and he's like totally, or she's totally completely thinking, okay, oh my God, so you have this, here we can do this. There's just okay, let's game plan, let's figure this out, versus somebody's like, hey, just do what I did. And that may not always work when it comes to the mental health stuff, when it comes to other stuff. I'd rather have that side taken care of by the more professional side, right? So when we give advice, we're just sharing what we believe. We're sharing a little bit what we find online. Again, we're not experts on any of this, right? Don't take our advice. But if you find yourself wanting to confront your folks. I always want to say guys. Sorry, fellas. I guess we got a bad rap. Whatever, right? Whatever the case is, I encourage you to do it on a personal level. Find it, make sure it's safe. Don't come and say, well, that guy in that podcast, or, if you know me personally, well, you told me to do this. I'm not telling you to do this. What I'm telling you is when you're ready to do it, fucking do it, execute, pull the trigger, jump, and just do it. Because I've talked to a lot of folks, and I've gone through a lot of my own healing and stuff. The weight that's lifted that you didn't know was there, the freedom, the empowerment, just good Lord, the amount of like just mental, emotional freedom of just like, I have new energy. Oh my God, I just want to do this. And everything, and didn't even realize it was like that. Didn't even realize it was heavy. Didn't even realize, and that's the thing, and that's the cool part, right? So jump on board when you can. If you carry it, you're carrying it. And it looks bad. And if you're our age, Gen X folks, we don't have much time left, so the encouragement is Unfucking recognize and unfuck your glitches. Is carrying trauma like this a glitch? Absolutely. It's a big ass glitch. So I think that's all for the soapbox for tonight, folks.
Hey.
I think that this whole thing was birthed from a meme. I saw the meme. I saw it and I'm like, yes, that's exactly a good way to put it. Why do I have to shut the fuck up when this guy was the dickhead? Why do I have to shut the fuck up when he was the bully? Whose peace am I keeping?
He started it.
Fuck him.
Right.
That's kind of how I took it. I'm like, no,
that guy.
he doesn't get to punk me like that and then just fucking, I'm now, and now
away.
I also got to worry about getting beat up and worry about, keeping the peace. Fuck all that.
F that.
Call him. Anyways.
Process it somehow.
Thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate you guys, each and every one of you. I truly do. Greg and I, we do this podcast. We started this thing just over 3 years ago. And we love what we do. We get a lot of feedback. A lot of our friends call us and text us, and we get a lot of love on our social media. So please keep giving us the love. Keep letting us know you're out there. My name is Jason.
And I'm Greg.
Peace out, everybody.
Late.
I almost did double fingers. I didn't know what to do. I'm throwing up gang signs.
I don't know what to do with my hands.